Okay, everybody, good afternoon. Thank you for joining us during your lunch time. Okay, so before I begin, just a quick technical check. If you can hear me loud and clear, can you please type in SS in the chat? So SS stands for sound and slide. Okay, so usually the YouTube live have a little bit of slow lag for about 15 to 20 seconds. So I'll just wait for a little bit for the chat to load and to confirm that everything is working well before I move on. Okay, I see the first SS finally coming in. Okay, it's from Fix My Heart, and then of course David as well. Good afternoon. Okay, so I think it's working well. If any time it's not working out, just let me know in the chat. Okay, so let's begin, shall we? All right. So with that, let me move on. So I have a first question to actually ask everyone. Okay, can the team help me put up my slide, please, on the screen? Yes. One moment, yeah. Yeah, okay, it's up already. Great. Okay, so just a very quick and important question for everybody. Can you help me type in A, B, or C in the chat? Why do I need to know this? Because so that I can adjust my presentation to suit everyone as much as possible so that you can get the greatest benefit out of this very short lunchtime session. So A means that you have not invested, but you're keen to start. That's why you are here today. Maybe to find out more about how crypto maybe can work for you. You are a B. Type in B if you have started. You bought some Bitcoin, you bought some crypto, but you are actually not actively managing it. And C if you are already invested and also actively in the market. So let me take a look at the chat right now. Okay, I see a mixture of B and C. So far, a few A's as well. Okay, I think quite balanced, but more B lah. Okay, more B. Okay, so if you are B, it's actually always you are B also a very interesting position, I would say. Why? Because you are like invested. Sorry, you're invested, but maybe you're not so active in the space. Like, you don't know whether you profit or loss or not. So what I hope you do for the B people, right, is to reignite your passion, your fire in you to actually be more actively involved. All right. For A, of course, give some insights, and then you definitely want to start because there's a lot of potential in this space as well. Okay, for C, fantastic. I think this will be an additional bonus for you. So having said that, I think this session will be suitable for everyone, whether you are A, B, or C. All right, so I hope you are ready, and let me move on to the next slide to show you what is the agenda for today. A short session, I would say probably take about 45 to 50 minutes. I'm not so sure. Okay, but should be around that time. Okay, so what's the agenda? First thing first, we are talking about whales selling off Bitcoin, right? The question maybe some of you have in your head right now is that, hey, Leslie, how do you know? How you know the whale sell? By the way, whales refer to big players, basically all your big banks, your government, your big institutions, your rich billionaire individuals like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and even Donald Trump. So these people are referred to as whales in the crypto space. All right, in case you're wondering, hey, how come there's a fish in the in the slide? How come fish can buy Bitcoin? In case you are not familiar with this term, yeah. Okay, so jokes aside, so that's the first thing we want to discuss, and then we want to talk about this Bitcoin dominance and altcoin season. Okay, so if you're very new, again, let me just quickly explain. Usually there are okay, usually there is Bitcoin. Everyone knows what's a Bitcoin, right? And then there's altcoin. So any other coins that is not Bitcoin is altcoin. So your Ethereum, your Solana, even your Dogecoin, your Ripple, your Cardano, all are altcoin. So when you say altcoin season, means that all these coins are performing better than Bitcoin. Then we call it the altcoin season. Okay, clear, right? If you can understand, can you help me type U in the chat? I just want to quickly clear this, so that everybody's on the same page, and then we can move on, smoothly as well. Because I believe some of you may be very new to the space. Cannot? Okay. And then more importantly, which sector? Because altcoin got so many, just like in the stock market, right? There's different sectors. There's defensive stocks. There's consumer staple. Okay, too long never touch my stock. Forget all the sectors, technology and finance or any many others, right? Okay, so same thing. Crypto also got different sectors. So we want to know which sector the whales are potentially rotating to, where are they putting their money in, why, so that we can copy them and potentially these are the coins, these are the sectors that will actually grow very quickly because of the huge amount of funds and liquidity that will be poured into these different sectors, right? Okay, so are y'all ready or not? Are ready? If you're ready and excited, can you help me type R in the chat? Okay, R for ready. And with that, let me just quickly put this up, formality-wise, a quick disclaimer. Do note that whatever discussed will be meant for educational purposes and general information only, because in any investment, it is still important and imperative that you do your own due diligence, do your own research. And if you want to, you can also consult a licensed financial advisor. All right, so with that out of the way, done and dusted, let's move on. Okay, first question. Whales selling off Bitcoin. How do we know? Why not? Say, hey, Leslie, how you know? Okay, so there are different metrics that we can look at that because all these cryptos, right, they are actually on blockchain, which it's easily available online. You can think of it as like the financial reports of the companies that you bought their shares. All right, then you can easily find them online. Then from there, you can find out some details and information. Make sense? So in crypto, we have all these data as well, but it's called blockchain data. So one of the data shows very clearly, right? This is the Bitcoin total whales holdings and monthly percentage change. Okay, it looks a bit, a lot of lines, right? I just bring you step by step, very simple. You just look at the purple shaded lines. Okay, it's a 30 days percentage change. Can you see that the purple line, it's below this line? What does that mean? Okay, it means that they are selling. If it's above this zero line here, they are buying. Okay, can you see, right? This is their largest sell off since when? Since 2022. Okay, first thing first, 2022, largest sell off since 2022. Okay, and is their lowest balance, total balance, since 2018. Hey guys, do you think this is a bit fishy? Okay, fishy with like the whale kind of fishy. Can you type F in the chat? Why are they selling off quite so much amount? They are holding so little Bitcoin. Where are they taking their money to? To buy more yachts and private jet, or maybe to put into another coins that have more potential growth. Maybe the altcoin season is coming, then they are all ready. They are getting ready to put their money that they made from Bitcoin into another coins. Okay, fishy, right? Okay, so another thing we want to confirm, right? Okay, we don't base on one data. Of course, this is already a bit fishy in a sense. All right. So the next thing we look at, right, is the long-term holders. Okay, so there are long-term holders, there are short-term holders. Of course, they have their ways to calculate. Usually the long-term holders, right, are the whales. Why? Because they hold a lot. That's why they hold long-term. Short-term holders are people like trader or maybe new people. They just buy a bit and a bit FOMO, they quickly sell that kind, right? Okay, yeah. So the long-term holders, right, is what color is this? It's like a bit brown or khaki color, yeah. Can you see that the khaki color again, the zero line here means they buy, here means they sell. Can you see how much they have sold? Okay, so this is the largest drawn down. That means they offloaded a total of 200 and I think 240 plus Bitcoin. Okay, not $240,000 of Bitcoin, 240,000 of a Bitcoin. Okay, one Bitcoin is 100K. So imagine this, how much money has been, or okay, yeah. So you again find this fishy, double fishy, type FF now in the chat, because two fishy stats that we have seen already so far. Okay, yes. Okay, so the next question, before I move on showing you more data and and all that, can you help me type O in the chat if you find that actually these two datas, right, can give you sort of like a opportunity. But the thing is, and what is the opportunity? Maybe you saw, you think that, hey, there's some opportunity. I think so. Okay, can you type O in the chat? Okay, so another question I want to ask everyone very quickly, right? So I know in the chat, probably some of you have seen me before or attended my class, whether it's virtually or in person. Can you help me type 2 in the chat if you have seen me before or attended any of my class, whether virtually or in person before? If it's the first time you see me, help me type 1 in the chat. Okay, I'll just want to quickly, there's a reason why I asked this as well very quickly. Okay, I just need to wait for the chat to load because it takes a while for the YouTube live. Okay, yeah, the numbers are coming in so far. All twos, anybody is one, or don't have. Okay, that means I'm quite famous. I'm not kidding. Just joking. Anybody is one. Okay, I'm not sure have or not. Okay, anyway, never mind. Regardless how, I just do a very quick introduction of me in case some of you see me for the first time. Oh, got one. Okay, so long there's one person who type one, I will just do a quick introduction. Usually I tell people, okay, like this one not very important, but I think it is fair. You know who is speaking to you. Okay, so my name is Leslie. If you still don't know yet, and I actually started investing in stocks and equity since 2011, and then I venture into crypto since 2016. And then because I became very active in that space, and later on I founded one of the largest learning communities in Singapore right now. And I also have 13 years of traditional finance experience in an MNC. And again, because I became very active in the blockchain space, I was later appointed to head the digital wealth division of OL Singapore, which is part of Singapore first publicly listed company specializing in blockchain. All right. And notably, right, I also managed to achieve an 80 plus monthly return even in the 2022 bear market. Okay, some of you may be thinking, hey, Leslie, why you say 2022? Is it the recent one not good? Okay, no, it's just telling you that even in a bear market, we still have average returns of this monthly. Okay, so in the bull market, we maintain that result as well. Okay, so usually this point I don't like to share if this is the first time you see me. Why? Because it seems very unreal. It seems a bit fishy, all right, in that sense. And this is monthly, not annually. But why do I still share this? Because these results it's verified by hundreds of students. Okay, how you verify? Again, I say, Leslie, how you verify? Okay, because we got this thing called the Mentors Trade Tracker for our community members. Basically, what is that? Basically, we will do our trades, right? And then we will post it up on a group chat that everybody is in, and then the everyone in the group chat can actually copy the trade if they want to. Yeah, so these are the results that we also tabulated. Yeah, so you can see some months is higher 180 plus, some month lower 30. Okay, then this 100, but average 80 plus percent per month. Okay, that's how we achieve that. All right, and yeah, moving on. So I'm also pretty lucky and fortunate to be invited to speak at, I would say, various seminars and conferences as well, and also very lucky to be featured with some of, I would say, very, very big names, like Robert Kiyosaki, 𝗲𝗏𝘂𝗶𝘃, and many, many others in the same event. All right, so I hope today I can bring some valuable insights to everybody. All right, so with that, again, done and dusted, let's move on back to our agenda, right? So after we know that, okay, now we have some evidences that, hey, okay, this evidence got proven. Okay, that one doesn't matter. Okay, so anyway, that um the wheels are indeed selling off, right? The Bitcoin. Okay, so is it time for the altcoin season? Okay, so we are thinking, hey, altcoin season, that means maybe they are starting to buy other coins. Correct or not? Okay, so how to find out? There's a few ways. Let me show you one or two ways today. Okay, so first thing, we look at something called the crypto total tree chart, if you like. All right, so this total tree, right, exclude Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's a little bit small on the screen right now, but I hope you can see, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, which means that it tracks the total market cap of all the crypto out there, excluding, again, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Clear, huh? Okay. Because why we want to exclude this to see a more accurate performance of all the other altcoins. Okay, Bitcoin definitely you must remove to so-called track their performance, right? So why we remove Ethereum also? Because Ethereum is like they hold like another big chunk of the entire altcoin. So sometimes may not be accurate if Ethereum itself is doing well and pulling everybody up. Make sense? Okay. Yeah. So far make sense. Can you type MS in the chat? Okay. So right now, can we see that the chart is trending up? By the way, this daily chart, all right, for quite some time already. Of course, there's some pullback and up and down. Okay. So if you see the blue line that I drew, it's very important. So likewise, for all these market cap, for all these total tree, although it's not really a crypto by itself, right? They also have chart patterns that we can look at. So if you look at what I just drew, right, it's actually like a symmetrical, I'm sorry, not symmetrical triangle. It's like a triangle, right angle triangle, okay? And is it right angle? Okay, if I draw like that, it's right angle. Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so triangle. Basically, it broke out. Okay, it broke out this triangle, right? And then if it maintains above this, I think we can see a very, very likely altcoin season will start and then start to boom. Okay, yes, yeah. So this is something that we need to look at. All right. Next up, right, we want to also look at what we call Bitcoin dominance. Okay, yeah. Likewise, I drew a line, right, and it has fallen below that line. Okay, below 60. So at the current moment is 57 plus plus. So what does that mean? It means that the total crypto market cap, right, 57%, right, it's held by Bitcoin. The rest of the 43% is alternate coin. So what does that mean? It means that Bitcoin is stronger than the other alternate coins add together. So this is what we call Bitcoin dominance. So in order for the altcoin season to happen, right, typically we want to see that the Bitcoin dominance falls to a certain level. So what is that level? Typically, so far historically also, it's between 45 to 50. And normally, right, about 55, it starts to really happen already. Okay, guys. So again, can you all see the opportunity again? Just now you all type O once already, right? So now you type O2 because this is a second opportunity that you have spotted. If you have, can you type O2 in the chat? All right. Yeah. Why? Because at 57, is it very close to 55? And another thing that you see, right? It actually shows that it starts to fall. What's that? Does this also coincide with the data we see of whales selling off their Bitcoin? I think it is, right? Right. And at the same time, if we can stay below this trend line that I drew, the green line, I think very likely it will continue to fall. All right. And another thing, Bitcoin dominance will fall based on two things. One is people sell off their Bitcoin. Makes sense? Because less people hold Bitcoin, then sell, then it drops. Correct, the price drop. Secondly, is they buy altcoins. Because can you imagine, I sell here plus I buy here. It's a double effect. That means 1% less is actually 2% in that sense. Okay? Yeah, so but in this case, 1% less is 3% more because people are buying the altcoins. Then this will cause the Bitcoin dominance to fall. Okay, so far so good, huh? Okay, so hey guys, so far have you all learned something useful? Have you all learned something powerful? If you have, can you help me type power in the chat? Okay, just let me know. Just do a quick pit stop. Make sure everybody is following so far. Let me just drink some water, guys. Okay, so now we know two things. All right. First thing is the Bitcoin. Sorry, rather the Bitcoin, rather the whales are selling off the Bitcoin. All right. We have some evidence that we saw. And then the second thing that we learned is that the total tree is rising while the Bitcoin dominance is falling. and that usually signal to us that the potential altcoin can be coming. Okay, so after we know these two things, what do we need to know next? You need to know which sector or which altcoin to buy. Make sense? Why? Because there are so many other altcoins out there. So which sector will do well? Of course, there are a few sectors that will do well based on what we call the narrative or sometimes the trend, correct? What are narratives or trend? So if you still nowadays the AI trend, a lot of people are talking about AI. So that's narrative, that's trend. So previously, if we talk about if we talk about crypto itself, then last time we got the NFT, we got the DeFi, then we got the metaverse and all that. So if you talk about stocks, maybe you're more familiar, right? We have like EV cars and stuff like that, right? Then the EV all do very well, like the AI narrative, then NVIDIA go crazy, correct? So all these are the narratives that we must catch, correct? Okay, so now the question is, which altcoin sector has a explosive growth potential? Hey, I want to know now. If you want, can you help me to type this I1, okay, in the chat? Let me know if you want to know. Okay, so while you type I1, right? I just want to explain something also. So why recently there's also a very important news in the investing market. Just yesterday only, correct? Yesterday or 2 days ago. Y'all know what is it? If you know, can you type in the chat? Got to do with the US one. Okay, if you know, okay, again, I need to wait for the chat to load a little bit. Okay, the rate cuts, right? Fed rate cuts. Okay, so typically, I don't go into the details or too technical of it, but to put it very, very simple, right? Rates cuts usually will because it's like you take, okay, there's a principle is that the money weakens, right? Money weakens and people want to make sure their money can store value. They want to make sure their money can make more money, correct? So they are more likely to want to expose themselves to slightly riskier assets. So of course, that will include crypto as well, correct? Okay, and of course, again, there's so many cryptos. So usually, right, what we want to look at explosive growth potential, so-called areas, right? Let me ask you a question. Okay, if this is $1 million, okay, this is the ocean. Okay, you pour this cup into the ocean, will it cause any big issue? Usually, no have, right? But if you pour this cup into maybe a bucket, maybe, okay, will it has bigger movement? Definitely yes. Correct. Okay, and that is why we also need to look at sector that is relatively new. We cannot too small also because too small means no traction. Okay, relative. So this one again is you need to really pick properly lah. Okay, but the concept is like that. So there will be more effect on this one. Okay, yeah. So when we look at the trend, when we look at the narrative, we must be able to find this kind of narrative assets. All right, but there's one explosive growth potential that I want to talk about, which I have never shared before so far. Hey, you're excited now? If you're excited, can type X in the chat. Never shared before, you'll be the first bunch of people who get this alpha from me in that sense. Okay, I read alpha and crypto means that you are giving insider news, insider tips. Okay, yeah, excited, huh? Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about these three first. Okay, some of you may think, hey, let's see, how suddenly become stocks? I thought you're talking about crypto. Okay, so don't be too excited. Don't be too, don't worry yet. I want to talk about this. Do you know these three giants, right? Okay, they have something that is common among them. There's something that is common among them. Okay, it's what I call platform. Correct. Amazon used to be what, just selling books, and then now they become the biggest platform. And when I mean platform, I mean that they actually don't really have much of their own product. I think most of the product on Amazon, I think 60-70% come from products from other people. Okay, Apple, same thing. They were a phone, but why a lot of people buy Apple phone, right? Okay, to be honest, a lot of phones out there, a lot of smartphones out there are better than the iPhone. Okay, but it's because of the App Store. They provide the App Store, and multiple millions of people are creating apps using their platform. Can you see that? Okay, so that is very, very powerful. Same thing for YouTube, which is under Google, right? Again, the platform, and so many content creators can put their content on Google. Okay, so platform is very powerful, and platform can make a lot of money. As we can see, these three are giants, right? Okay, and of course we can talk about many others also, Alibaba and yeah, and even Shopee, right? Okay, GCB, right? The the owner lives in Singapore. Okay, so another story. That one is another story for another day. But I want to talk about platform, right? At the moment, there are a lot of interest from the institutions in the crypto space compared to, I'll say, 3, 4 years back. Correct now? Okay, then we know that there's ETF, and then it's more being accepted already. So in this space, right, the traditional finance people, basically the banks, right, they all want to make this money. Correct? Make sense, right? Okay. So if we look at this sector, right, is called the DeFi sector. Okay, it is not a new thing. Okay, DeFi, can you see or not? Back in 2021, okay, back in 2021, yeah, okay, all the way to 2022, it's even higher than the current total value lock. So what is total value lock? Give you a very layman analogy. It's like asset under management in the traditional market. Okay, so for example, you want to buy these funds from the bank. They say, hey, don't worry, this fund is very strong. Why? Because the asset under management is $1 billion, is $10 billion. Because that means there's $10 billion of money that is invested in this fund that you are interested to invest in. Okay, so it's like asset under management. Okay, Claire, if you Claire can type C in the chat. So total value lock is something like asset management. Wow, there's so much money, 100 and I don't know, 60, 70 billions back then. Okay, now it's not even higher than the previous. Okay, because why? I would say the truth is back then, DeFi wasn't anywhere near ready for mass adoption at that point. Okay, to be very, very honest. Okay, why? Because everything is still unclear. There's the regulation, all this also unclear right back then. Okay, but if you have took advantage, right? You know one of the one of the coin that you have bought from here to here, right, can make you how much money? Okay, there's one coin called YFI. Go and check. During this period, it grew by 100,000%. Okay, 100,000%. In perspective, right, if you put 1K here, you exit here, you take home $1 million. Okay, crazy, no? Okay, crazily good, right? And you type CG in the chat. Okay, yeah. So now, why are we talking about this DeFi? Okay, they say, let's say the past, this one like the old narrative, people already from 1K make $1 million, still got chance to go and do this. Okay, again, we go back to the word, just now the word is what? Platform. Okay, it's different now. I think the entire scene of this DeFi is very, very different. Okay, DeFi actually stands for decentralized finance, by the way. Okay, decentralized finance. Okay, so why is that so? Why is it very, very different? And of course, there are more potential, can you see? Because if it goes back to here, only there's maybe 100, 200% to it. I don't think you'll repeat 100,000%, to be very frank with you first, okay? Okay, but 100, 200, 500%, 1,000% even, I think still possible. Hey, you think still okay, not still okay, type okay in the chat. Or you think, oh, like sleep allow, I want the 100,000%, or then that one, I don't know, can find or not. Or you think still okay, maybe 100, 200, 500, or even 1,000%. Okay, still okay, type okay in the chat. Okay, yeah. So what is DeFi? If you know what is DeFi, can you type D in the chat? If you don't know, can you help me type type O in the chat? Sorry, type 0 lah, type 0. Okay, D for DeFi. Still good, huh? Okay, wait, I need to wait for the chat to load a little bit. Okay, make sure of answer. Okay, I do again a very quick explanation, very layman way of explaining. Okay, so basically decentralized finance, as opposed to what we call traditional finance. Okay, so in short, for now moving forward, I'll just call TradeFi and DeFi. Okay, DeFi is decentralized finance, TradeFi is traditional finance. So easier to say, it's not very long the words. All right. Traditional finance is what our bank, our insurance company, our investment funds, our stock market, our traditional finance. Decentralized finance is what are all the cryptos. And then in traditional finance, what you can do, a lot of things. Correct. You can do investments, you can do derivative trading, you can do lending. Okay, you can do lending, borrowing, and many other things. So decentralized finance can do what? The same. Everything they have, you can do. Okay. But they first thing first, right? Decentralized. Let's talk about lending. Okay, lending is a very big business in a traditional finance because they give you loans, then you pay them very hefty interest rate, right? Right. So, but in traditional finance, you can only do the borrowing. You cannot do the lending, correct? If not, it will be illegal. Of course, you buy bonds and stuff, it's a different story, but physically lending is illegal if you don't have a license, correct? But for decentralized finance, right, you can also do lending and also borrowing. That means if I have some, very simple, if I have some Ethereum that I hold, what can I do? I say that, okay, why not I put on the platform for me to lend to others so I receive a percentage of returns. Since I'm holding the Ethereum, I don't intend to sell. Make sense? So for people, some people, they may want to borrow more Ethereum or borrow more stable coin. Why? For whatever reason that is the same when you borrow money from traditional finance, correct? Maybe you want to do some investment, maybe you want to expand your business, whatever. So this one we don't need to talk. But there are people borrowing and people lending on the decentralized finance, just like on the traditional finance. Can you follow so far? If you can follow, type F in the chat. Okay, but what do I mean by decentralized is there's no middleman. When I lend it to you, I lend it to you, okay, via a platform. I don't need a middleman to approve. When I borrow, so long I can show that I have collateral, then I can borrow. Okay, they don't need to check, you check your background and all that, right? Sometimes the bank will reject your loans. Make sense? Okay, yes. So now when we talk about lending, it's a super big business. Okay, so with the institutional wanting to move to crypto, they want to definitely catch or grab a slice of the pie for sure one. Okay, so the next thing, right, the crypto that I want to share, and y'all can go and take a look at it. Okay, it's called Aave. It's not a new coin. It's the largest. Okay, it's the largest lending platform or protocol, okay, in the crypto space. So basically, it's like crypto bank without a bank. So you can lend just like what I just explained. Okay, smart contract, no middleman. All these are the technology stuff lah. Okay, now you don't understand, it's fine. Okay, you know why not? Because back then you also don't understand how come people want to leave their details on the internet. Correct? Not? You're not safe, correct? And now you put everything on Facebook. Okay, so it's the same thing right here now. You don't understand, it's okay. But 10 years later, people just do it without actually also understanding why they actually do it in the first place. Okay, so doesn't matter for now, really. Okay, so lenders and borrowers pay, just like what I just explained. Okay, but the thing is, right? Okay, if you are slightly, I think you can follow basically why, but you are still slightly feel that this is a little bit complex one, right? Can you type me in the chat? Okay, if you type me, right, this is where the traditional finance can come in. Okay, the traditional finance will want to grab a pie of this, right? So let me tell you, the traditional finance will have a platform just like what Amazon has, just like what YouTube have. Okay, trust me, soon to offer this kind of service to you. So they have the centralized, the decentralized finance on the traditional finance. And then what they do for you, they remove the complexity part for you. Correct or not? So they make it easy for you. Make sense? Okay, if I'm a content creator, how can I make everybody see my videos and content? Well, very difficult. YouTube make it for you. Follow so far? If I want to have a super app that I can, I think it's super good. Everybody will love using it. But I don't know how to market. Apple App Store do it for you. Okay. So with this, right, the traditional finance will platformize. I don't know about this word or not. All these decentralized finance in the near future, I believe. So, okay. And Aave has always been a strong coin, even if these don't happen quickly. I think Aave is a very strong fundamental coin that usually does pretty well, in fact, in the altcoin season as well. So if you really want to look at something to invest, this is something that you can do some research on. Okay? Okay, so far so good. Okay, with that, right, let me also maybe share very quickly the chart of Aave and see what the price action tells us. Hold on, let me just switch the thing around. Okay, great. Okay, so this is the chart of this Bitcoin. So let's go to Aave, USDT. Okay, so at this moment, yeah, go up, but it's coming down a little bit. But usually this is what we call a bullish flag. Okay, what does that mean? It means that it pump up so much and then it form like a triangle sometimes, or sometimes it can be like a parallel line as well. And then once they finish consolidating here, usually it will break up. Okay, that's the idea, that's the concept. It'll break up. Okay, but from here, right, it's currently about $300. But if we look at the previous all-time high, it's not this one. Let me tell you. Okay, so assuming it at least performed to the previous all-time high as before, it will be at least 100% growth. Yeah, okay, not happy with this. Now, if you're happy, you can type happy in the chat. 100% growth in maybe the next 1 year if the altcoin season comes. Of course, everything still must wait for the Bitcoin dominance to draw. Everything, all these things must happen first. Okay, then I think Aave will have a chance. And for long term wise, I think the platformization thing will happen very soon. And I will definitely Aave will be one of the top pick in the DeFi space because they are the largest lending protocol. Okay, so how to know they are the largest, right? You can go to CoinMarketCap. Okay, you can go and search for Aave, AAVE. Okay, 32. They are ranked 32 in the entire crypto space. Okay, so pretty huge. And if you go inside here, they will show you which sector they are in. Can you see right here? Can you see DeFi, lending and borrowing? Can you see that? Okay, click on lending and borrowing, and you can see they are the top. Okay, the next one will be Sky, used to be known as Maker, which is a pretty good coin as well. You can take a look at it as well. Can you see how much bigger they are than the others? At least 3 to 4 times bigger than the second place. Okay, yeah. So just like why a lot of banks and big institutions or even developers, right? They want to use Ethereum, even though a lot of people say, "Oh, Ethereum very expensive," blah blah blah, and stuff like that. But because it's the biggest, it's the most stable. So why some people prefer to use DBS because poems, all this, they are their charges are crazy one. Correct. But okay because people feel safe. So usually big institutions, they or high net worth people or big whales, they think more on the safety side. Okay, a few more cents, a few more millions to them is like a few cents to us, otherwise they don't care. Okay, so y'all get the idea. All right, so this just to show you very quickly. Let me go back to my slide. Okay, I just need to unshare and share again. Okay, the team, can you put my slide back on? Thank you. Okay, great, it's back. Okay, guys, so have you all gotten value so far? If you have, can you type value in the chat? Okay, so again, in case you missed it, so Aave is one coin that I would definitely be looking at and probably add some investment into it. I think it is a good coin. It has strong fundamentals, and with the institutional interest in crypto right now, I believe Aave will be one of the coins that will benefit from this movement itself. All right. And like I mentioned, because in traditional finance, they also want a pie of this. So they will definitely want to have a platform to offer different DeFi products moving forward very, very soon. Okay, cannot? Okay, so with that, right, if you have time value, right, can you tell me who wants more? Okay, if you want, can you type more in the chat? Okay, let me know if you want more in the chat. Okay, so okay, if you want more, right, can I ask you a question, right? Okay, if let's say we do a 30-day transformation, within 30 days, right, you are able to see result. Do you think it's good enough? Okay, 30 days, of course, we cannot be 3 days, 4 days, too short already. But 30 days, you think good enough? Can you type 30 in the chat? Okay, so what I'm going to share with you, right, on this 30 days transformation, right? So from time to time, we work closely with a few members, our community members as well. So this Jacinta, so she actually made some profit really through investing and after attending our class and stuff like that, correct? So total profit is about 23,000 at this moment. So I told her, hey, do you want to do a 30 days transformation challenge with me? Okay, why not you take out about 10K of this profit, because it's already profit. So this is profit, not a total portfolio, a profit only. So already 23, I say take out half. What we do is that we will spend maybe just 15 to 20 minutes a day, okay, to hunt for coins. And then when I say buy, you follow, I buy. Okay, so you want to see a result. Okay, so the result is this. Okay, at the moment you see there are wins and losses. Okay, there are wins and losses. Okay, it's a little bit small. So the zoom in part, right, you can see that the coin itself that we bought overall make about 200%. Okay, but we don't dump all the 10,000 in, correct? We spread out. So based on the total portfolio, it has grown to close to 18%. Hey guys, you all think okay for a month? Okay, a good start. If you think it's a good start, type GS for good start. About 18% in 30 days. Okay, just doing this simple challenge. Say like, okay, we also sometimes, when you treat it more like a fun game, you also feel less stressed because right, sometimes you invest when you very stressed, oh, make money, and all that. Correct? Okay, so yeah, you want to do this. Okay, you want to do this together. You want to do this together, right? Okay, how many of you want to get access to this? This strategy that we use. Okay, how many of you want to get access? If you want to, can you type 10x in the chat? Okay, why? So that you can also achieve your own financial goals that you want to achieve. So it can be anything, like it can be just having a better time, better quality time for yourself, even for yourself, or pamper yourself a little bit more. Go out with spend quality time with your family, and friends, enjoy yourself and stuff like that. Correct? Okay. If you want that, right? If you type 10x in the chat, I have very good news for you. Okay, so of course today, it's a lunchtime, right? So I want to quickly wrap this up, in case you need to go back to work and stuff like that. So we don't have so much time to actually share all the different strategies and all that. But the good news is that, right? Okay, I have an upcoming workshop as well that can show you how you can potentially 10x with just using 15 to 20 minutes a day. Okay, not to worry if you are very new, because this is suitable for even for people who are new, who are beginners. So it's easy for beginners, easy for beginners. All right. Okay. So, and thousands of people have already attended this class before. And I just want to mention there was one time, right, this special occasion, we have a lot of people. Okay, why is this a lot? Why is this special occasion? We have 525 participants, okay, in one session only. Okay, so why I say this is special? Because normally our Zoom platform can only hold up to 200 people. Okay, and then that time we didn't expect so many people to come, and then we didn't inform beforehand that there's only 200 capacity, so-called capacity limits, and then they all come, so no choice, we have to just do a one-time expansion, correct? Okay, but this round, okay, we always remind people that it's only limited to the first 200 people only. Okay, and as of now, just I think about an hour ago before I come into this live, I checked, there was already about 156 people enrolled. Okay, yeah. So yeah, you go and do the math, and just a reminder, got 200 people. Okay, so what you should do next? Very, very simple. Okay, if you like what you see and you want to learn more, you can get ready to click the link or scan the QR code that will be on the screen and register before. Okay, sorry, this one nothing. Okay, I think I forget to remove this. So very fast, 20 seconds to complete registration. Just a reminder, there's only 200 seats available. And if you find that you cannot register anymore, try again, because sometimes people try 2 or 3 times. If people, because a lot of people try to register, sometimes it may jam up the system. Okay, but if you try 2, 3 times still cannot, maybe the stock are off you, then I apologize in advance. All right. Okay, so what will you be learning in this class? Basically, you will learn a few things: how to generate 100,000 or more with just 15 minutes a day, and also importantly, during the bear market, how we can still average 80+% returns every month, even during the bad times, okay, which is very important. Okay, how to follow clear indication and on when to enter and also exit. And also, if you find that the coin that I just shared about Aave it's insightful, we actually have a latest altcoin list for Q4, and especially for Q4, just started only. Okay, I mean, we just created this report. It will be given to you also if you attend the class with us. All right. So how much the class cost? Okay, it's free to attend. It's free to attend. What you need to do is again scan the QR code or click on the. I think the link is in the chat as well, so you all can click in if it's easier for you. Again, a summary: how to generate 100,000 or more. Okay, how average 80%. Okay, how to follow clear indication, and of course you'll get the latest altcoin to buy guides. And of course, just a reminder, it's limited to the first 200 registrant only. All right, so with that, I have in fact come to the end of my sharing. So we are now it's about, okay, we still have some time. Maybe we take about the next 3 to 5 minutes. If you have any questions, maybe you can put in the chat so we can take some questions. Okay, so Fix My Heart has a question on which crypto platform do you use? Okay, this is not a recommendation. I must disclaimer first. But if you ask me specifically which do I use, right? Okay, I will say very simple. For on-ramp of SGD, because we need to fund with Singapore dollars and then buy our whatever coins, right? I use this platform called Independent Reserve. So it's a MAS licensed platform. Okay, yeah. So after I convert my SGD to the crypto that I want, typically I'll move the crypto, right, to another platform called Binance.com. It's the largest crypto platform out there. Because why do I move it there? Because it has more functions that I want to use. Okay, there are some others that I use, but these two are the main ones. Okay, yeah. Okay, Joshua asked a very, very, very good question. Aave entry price. Okay. Again, I want to disclaimer first. This is not a buy sell signal. It's not a financial advice, but I feel that it is at an okay price right now. Okay, but what I always do is to put to separate into, I would say, at least 3 tranches. It means that if I have $10,000, I don't put all the $10,000. Maybe I put 3,000 first, and then another 3,000 when it falls to a certain percent. Usually, if it falls to another 5 to 10%, then I'll just buy again, something like that. Okay. Okay. Jocelyn asked, do you think there'll be a short-term sell-off after pump post Fed cuts? I don't think so, Jocelyn. think, in fact, the sell-off it's before, if you realize, it's before the Fed cuts. So I believe that the sell-off has happened already. But that doesn't mean it will not have some pullbacks and correction. If you talk about sell-off, I'm thinking you are saying that like a bigger drop. Okay, which I personally don't think so. All right. Okay, AY has another question. For BTC sell-off chart, brown color. No, brown color is long term. Or nah, did I say it wrongly? Let me check. Ah, sorry, my bad, my bad. Okay, so you're right, you're right. Okay, so we should be looking at the blue or purple one. Oh, thanks for pointing it out. Thanks for pointing out. Okay, but it's still a huge amount that they are selling off. Okay, comparatively to the early 2025. Okay, yeah, thanks for pointing out. My bad. Okay. Should we be selling all? Okay, Shinobi, wow, very good question. Should we be selling all our Bitcoin to switch to alt? I don't think you should do that as well. Even the whales don't sell 100%. Okay. But if I don't know how, okay, it really depends from one individual to another because it depends on how big your portfolio is and stuff like that, right? And many other factors you need to look at. But yes, if you want to move them into altcoins, which you must do research on first and find a good one and not anyhow buy also, right? Yes, you can probably sell half of your Bitcoin holding right now and then move into some alts. Okay, huh? Again, not financial advice, but that's what we are doing at the moment as well. We don't sell everything, or even bear market, we don't sell everything. It feels weird, lah. I don't know if you know what I'm trying to say. It's like, oh, I invest in crypto, but how much Bitcoin or zero because it's the bear market. I sell everything. Very weird, also, you know. So yeah. In fact, it's okay for us because we bought in the early days, right? So even bear market is still higher than our initial buying price. So that's fine for us. Okay. Joycelyn, so you see, the 1 month ago one, okay, peak. So later 1 month later, I tell you what, sure got people come to the live. Hey, the Aave still can buy or not? I would say, pick don't chase the high lah. That's all I can say, Joycelyn. The peak, yeah, because peak has peaked once, come down, and then there was like 100% growth in after a month of mentioning the narrative that may be up and coming, correct? Yeah, which was the robotic of things. Yeah. So but yeah, that's last month already. Okay, how? No problem. No problem, Ivan. Okay, if there are no more questions, then we shall call it a day. And thanks again for joining us during lunchtime. I hope you still have some time to take your lunch, or maybe you're eating while watching, I'm not sure. Okay, and yes, if you are joining us in the upcoming class, then I shall see you soon. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good day, and to the moon. Take care.